Hey guys, welcome back to this place. If you are new, welcome here for the very first time. I am Carmen, and today, this is River, and today we are going to watch season 1, episode 14 of Lost. I loved the past couple of episodes. We are still waiting on the bunker reveal. We have discovered a little bit more about Shannon and Boone and their relationship in the past episode. Locke is keeping secrets, but you know, I feel like Locke works in mysterious ways, and maybe it is not up to me to question his mysterious ways because they do ultimately seem to work. So yeah, we have Locke being a little bit sneaky about the bunker door, the hatch, or whatever the door leads to. I still think he should tell Jack, but we still haven't even figured out how to open it. So maybe once we figure out what is inside, then he will impart his information, right? So anyway, that is where we left off. I do not want to ramble too much. I just want to get right into this episode. So without any further rambling by me, let's get into this episode and see what revelations it will bring to us.
Whoa! Seems to hate it, doesn't he?
What?
Whoa! Being a dad?
No, it's just a lot of hard work.
Nah, he hates it.
Oh.
Walt!
I think he just doesn't know what to do with it because it's not been his experience, right? He's having to learn how to be a dad on a fucking deserted island, possibly deserted, most likely inhabited, in the middle of fucking nowhere.
This is the one. This is definitely my baby's crib.
Oh, he looked excited at this time.
Beautiful. It'll look great in the alley we'll be living in. This is 3 months, right?
It's not
Oh,
But don't you want the best for this kid?
I know you're excited, but Michael, we can't.
she was
afford
on
this.
Bones.
Our baby in this crib? Come on. That's a happy kid.
Walt, huh?
Ooh.
I'd like to do that, you know? Name him after my dad.
Ah,
Walter Lloyd.
Lloyd. Oh, all right. That's why you won't marry me. It's not that you think marriage is too prosaic. You just want to have your last name.
Hey, you want me to agree to Walter or what?
okay. So he seemed very involved at that time. So what changed? Oh,
Man, I suck.
You
can do
gotta
better
learn.
than that. I want to take it easy on him. See this knot, Walt? I want you to aim for it. Right here.
You can do it, Walt. I got faith in you. I believe. Yeah.
Yes!
I knew you had it in you, Walt.
It was weird.
Proud of
I
you.
actually saw it in my mind or something, like it was real.
Who's to say it wasn't?
Hey! What the hell is going on?
He's teaching him.
Give me that.
But,
Take Vincent and go back to camp.
but Mr.
Now,
Michaels-
little man.
He just doesn't like Locke for some reason. Maybe because he connects with Walt in a way that Michael is struggling with.
You're playing my son against me. And I'm gonna have a... What are you, his attack dog?
Easy. You're the one that was waving the knife around. He was just trying to make sure you didn't hurt someone.
That is true.
You know why he's formed an attachment to me? Because I treat him like an adult. You still treat him like a boy.
He's 10 years old.
He's been through more than most people in their entire lifetimes. You haven't spent enough time with him to see it, but he's different.
What did you say?
And we're not back home, Michael. As long as we're here, I think Walt should be allowed to realize his potential.
I wonder if maybe it wasn't his choice to not
Stay away from my son.
raise
And me.
Walt. I think that it's just jealousy, but I think it's misplaced. Oh, little baby, he's such a
Not taking him.
cute baby.
You're not taking my son. You can go if you want to, but Walt stays with me.
I'm trying to have a discussion with you.
No, you're not. You're talking about going to Amsterdam. Just you and him. How is that a discussion?
Can he not go with her? Are they not together anymore, or what?
I'm his mother, and I'm steadily employed. Who do you think the court's gonna side with?
Unfortunately, she is right. I don't understand why he can't come as well.
I realized it wasn't showing the location of the island. I think it's a location on the island,
Yeah.
specifically here.
But I don't think anyone wants to get off as much as I do right now.
So, are you suggesting something?
Yeah. We build a raft.
A raft.
Look, don't say it like that, man. We need a little optimism here, okay? And we gotta do
You
something.
need to build a bigger boat than a raft.
The chances of surviving the rough waters, the odds of finding a shipping lane.
And I get really seasick.
That's not very helpful, Shannon. But what Saeed was saying was helpful.
I've been seeing someone.
What?
Brian, I'm
Doesn't
assuming?
make any difference.
Who is it?
Brian Porter.
Mm-hmm. That's who Walt calls Dad. What the fuck? I do think that she's being unfair, not letting him talk to him on the phone, not wanting him to see him.
She kept a diary in this side pocket. I know because I saw her put it in there. Someone's taken it.
Okay, why'd they take her diary?
Something goes missing, and right away you figure it's got to be me that took it.
Do you have the diary or not?
I mean, it's a fair assumption, Sawyer.
You mean this one?
Give it to me.
I'm getting really freaked out by that has-been pop star. I think he's stalking me.
Sawyer.
Diary, the little limey runt just won't let up.
I doubt she wrote that. He loves to fucking punch people, doesn't he?
You hit like a punch.
You didn't really read it, did you?
I just haven't gotten around to it yet.
I knew what he said he did. She wouldn't have written.
You're not to come to me anymore.
Damn it! What is wrong with you?
I was just coming to
I
see.
told you to stay away from my son.
He didn't. I was just
Well,
giving
I don't
some...
want to hear from you.
He,
I was just giving him this pencil to give to you. I thought you could use it. Consider it a peace offering.
I get you with my son again, I'll kill you.
I like Locke a lot more than I like you, Michael, so let's not do this. Your anger at Brian, probably, is very misplaced in Locke.
You're a jerk.
What'd you say to me?
Mr. Locke didn't do anything wrong. He's my friend.
He's not anymore. I'm looking out for you.
You don't care about me. You never cared about me.
What?
You only show up after my mom died? Where were you when I was growing up, huh? Nowhere.
Listen, Walt, it's complicated.
I don't even care. You're not my father.
But you will listen to me.
Oh, that's not gonna make him not hate you.
Now.
The thing is, he is a child. You need to explain to him the truth of the situation in a calm manner. You can't let yourself get overwhelmed with emotions because, of course, he thinks you abandoned him if that's all he understands. You just have to explain to him that that's probably not the truth of the situation.
Finally called Andy, and I hadn't heard from you in over 2 months. I had to hear about your accident from him. You should have called me.
You waited 2 months to try to find him?
Brian and I are getting married,
She wants him to adopt him?
and he wants to adopt Walt.
Yep. That's where it was.
You're kidding me, right?
Consider what's best for Walt.
Why would...
You can keep holding on if you want, but ask yourself, why you're doing that? Is it really for him?
But why would it be best for him to be adopted? You're the one not letting him see him. It's not like he's a deadbeat who doesn't give a shit. You're actively keeping your son from him.
Where the hell is he?
What? I'm not in the mood for your games, man.
I'm not in the mood for your shit right now, Michael.
Don't lie to me.
Hey, man, he's not here. Look around.
I'm not talking to you.
Look
I told
around.
him this morning that he couldn't
Use
be around
common
anymore.
fucking sense.
Trying to respect your wishes. Let's go find your boy.
I wonder if he'll read the diary. Don't do it, Charlie.
Come out, Vincent! What's wrong? Vincent!
Where did Vincent go?
I'm not looking.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
Is it dead?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why is he looking at him weird? Oh shit.
I need to talk to you.
Susan, know you're here, man?
Susan died yesterday.
Ow, you're hurting me, Dino.
Turns out she had a blood disorder. She was only sick for about a week.
I didn't know. I hadn't talked to her in a while.
She told me she wanted you to have custody of Walton.
She what?
Did she, or...
She just thought, I mean...
No, I think...
Since you're his father...
I haven't been his father in 9 years.
I think Brian doesn't want him.
I didn't want to be a father, right? I just don't know how.
Hey, what the hell are you talking about, man? You adopted him.
Yes, I did. Because she wanted that, and I wanted her, and...
Why did she want somebody who didn't want to be a father when the fucking father of the child actually wanted to be his father?
Sometimes when he's around, things happen.
Like the bird dying?
He's different somehow.
You think that he made the bird die?
Over here.
Does he think that he made the bird die?
What's that?
Something I think Walt should have.
What is it? Can I see inside the box? A letter she wrote him. Oh, did she write him a bunch of letters? That's cute, but I still question her as a mother. I'm sorry. Oh, it's a polar bear. That's a fucking giant polar bear. The CGI is not great.
I'm not going anywhere with you.
I mean, he's a stranger to him. Makes sense.
Brian loves you very much. And he wants you to stay with him, but it's not his choice.
Does he?
It's mine.
I'm glad that he's lying to him, I guess.
Vincent isn't mine. He's Brian's.
Oh.
Brian said you could have him.
He's just gonna take this man's dog.
Pull him, Locke!
Polar bear is determined, huh?
I'm sorry.
No. It's okay. We're okay.
Excuse me.
Just glad you're safe.
But Vincent, he ran off again.
He found his way back to you once, Walt. He will again.
Good. Maybe we're gonna finally squash this ridiculous beef that was very one-sided.
Every card, every letter I sent you over the last 8 years.
She never gave them
Told
to
me?
me. She never gave it to. Okay.
I never saw these.
That's because your mom sucked.
But she didn't throw them away either, which means, you know, somewhere inside she wanted you to have them.
I don't think she should be celebrated for that. I realized I really like Charlie. There's something about him that's just so adorable and sweet, even in a sorry. I didn't read all of it. What? Is there information in there? Is there information in there? Is this a good thing? Is this a good thing? Have we discovered something?
I had that weird dream again, the one with the black rock I can't get away from. I tried to leave it, but it won't let me.
Black rock.
Black rock. They're just dreams, Charlie.
No.
No. Saeed mentioned the black rock before.
Mm-hmm.
The French woman
Rousseau
said something
about the
the
black
team
rock.
returning from the Black Rock. Maybe it's the triangle on the map.
Maybe it's where Claire was taken. Maybe she's there.
Maybe. Charlie, we all want to find Claire. But there's no sense going out into the jungle in the middle of the night.
Well, he didn't say you have to leave right now. Is it Claire?
Claire?
What? Is she still pregnant? Did they take her baby? Did they take her baby? Okay, so of course the last episode that I was planning to do today has a huge fucking cliffhanger at the end, which makes me want to do more. Okay, so Claire, okay, I doubt that I'm gonna be able to see because they put her in shadow for a reason. but I want to see if I can tell if she is still with child or not. At least if they did take her baby, they did not kill her, which was my concern. That they didn't want her, they just wanted the baby and would therefore kill her if they did take the baby. Okay, I feel like based off what I could see, which was not a lot, she might still be pregnant, which makes me wonder why they would let her go if they wanted her and the baby. I feel like there's a strong possibility that she's still pregnant, but also let's remember that women do not just go after they have a baby. So even if she still looks like she could be pregnant, she could still not be pregnant, you know? So either they took the baby, these are my theories, they took the baby, they let her go because they don't need her when they have the baby, or she is still pregnant and they injected her with something to infect the baby, right? Let me see if I'm remembering that right. I need to, I was gonna say scroll back, but go back to Saeed's episode. They were carriers. So maybe not infected, but carriers. Maybe they made her a carrier by injecting her with something. Okay. Those are my two current theories, is that Claire is still pregnant and they injected her with something to make her or her baby a carrier, or both, to further whatever experiment they are working on, or they have taken her baby to probably make it a carrier. Those are kind of I think the two options. We're gonna have to wait until next episode to see which option it is. Also, how was she having dreams about Black Rock? I should have kept that. Episode 9, I think. Yeah, episode 9 is Saeed's episode. So how was Claire having dreams about the Black Rock and the others when, as far as we know, Saeed didn't come back until after Claire was gone, right? I think that Saeed came back at the very end of the episode where Claire was taken. So I think that there's no way that she could have heard about the Black Rock from Saeed, because he was not back to tell anybody about the Black Rock at the time that she was taken. So how the fuck was she having dreams about the Black Rock? This fucking island, man. What the fuck is going on this fucking island? They wanted Claire's baby for a reason. They also said in this episode, Brian said, although I think Brian's just a piece of shit, so how much should we trust him? But Brian said that weird things happen around Walt. He thinks that the bird died because of Walt. I mean, I don't think the bird died because of Walt, but are we possibly introducing the idea of, well, actually, we've already introduced the idea of the supernatural, right? With the psychic Richard Martin, was that his name? No. I don't think so. Malkin. Richard Malkin. I read it really quickly and then I was like, that's not right. That's literally just my brother-in-law. Richard Malkin. Okay. So we introduced the idea of psychics with Richard Malkin, which means that I think that we can safely assume, if we believe that he was correct in his psychic visions, which we believe at least to some extent he was, that some level of the supernatural exists in this world. Yes, I think that we can accept that. Maybe Claire has some level of clairvoyance as well. Clairvoyance, is it a hint? I don't know. Or maybe the island is telling her something because of her baby, which Richard Malkin, the psychic, worked very hard to make sure was born on this fucking island for some reason, which I still think is possible for his own gain. Maybe now that Claire's back, she can tell us about her dreams about the Black Rock, and maybe there will be something in that. Although, is she going to be traumatized because of whatever the fuck happened to her, and if they did take her baby? Also, is there something that's going on with Walt? Like, are we supposed to think that there's something weird about Walt, like Brian does? I mean, he seemed pretty nonplussed about the death of the bird, which I think would upset me more, especially at like 10 years old, if I had seen that. But, and Brian, I think, attributed the fact that he was upset that they weren't paying attention to him, and then the bird flew into the window and died, as somehow Michael had done that. But why would Brian think that? Is it just because he was like looking for an excuse to get rid of Walt? Or is there something about Walt that we should like look out for? He seems like a regular kid as far as I can tell, although he didn't seem that upset about the bird, and so far he hasn't seemed like crazy upset about his mom. But again, maybe he's just like compartmentalizing the shit out of it and is just like burying the trauma. I don't know. I'm gonna just keep a question in my head about Walt, I guess, because of what Brian said. Although, okay, is it just me? I don't think it is. They definitely painted Brian in a poor light in this episode, like he just wants to get rid of this kid who he's raised for the vast majority of this child's life, who you would feel was your child at that point, would you not? But regardless of what we feel about Brian, which again, not good, his mom is what fucking baffles the fucking shit out of me. Like, are we supposed to think that she was that Susan, I believe is her name, are we supposed to think that she was a good person? Because nowhere in any of the flashbacks did I get that she was good, right? She didn't want to marry Michael because she didn't believe in marriage, but then she got married very quickly to somebody else, so she didn't want to live the struggling artist life, even though he was willing to be a construction worker and do other things to help alleviate the struggling artistness of it all. She left and went to Amsterdam, she accepted the job, which I don't think that there's necessarily anything wrong with. I think if this is your dream, if this has always been your dream, then by all means pursue it. But why would you then take away your child's ability to connect with their father, right? She wasn't like, you can come visit. And then later we saw she didn't even want him to talk on the phone to him. She's like, oh, he's 21 months old. He doesn't understand. Yeah, they understand to an extent. Like, they can hear a voice and recognize it at that age. Like, unless you're purposefully trying to erase that child's memory of their father, which seems like she was, why would you not let him talk to him? Why would you not want him to visit him? Why would you want him to sign over custody when Michael is actually, seems like a decent guy, seems like he wants to take care of his kid? Just because you're getting married to somebody else, who, by the way, apparently was crystal clear that they didn't even want to be a father figure to your child, why do you then take away the person who is their father biologically and desperately wants to be their father? Like, why take that away at all? Like, let him be the father to your kid, but like, let Michael be Walt's father like he is, and then let Brian be his bonus dad. Like, why? There's no part of me that understands her train of thought in that situation, especially when Brian said she knew I didn't want to be a father. So why do you want the person who doesn't want to be a father to be the father to your child, when the person who does want to be a father, you choose to want to take away their ability to do that? Like, that just baffles me. The only thing I can think is that Brian gave her a comfortable life and Michael didn't. But again, you don't have to be with Michael to allow him to be the father of your child. Like, what the fuck was in Susan's brain? I don't understand. Surely we're meant to see her as the bad guy in this equation, because she is. Like, he gave him birthday letters. He, like, tried to connect even after allowing this man to adopt him. He still tried to connect with him, and she wouldn't even allow that small bit of connection. But we're supposed to be like, okay, she kept the letters though. I'm sorry, does that redeem her in any way that she didn't just fucking throw them away or burn them? She still deprived Walt of knowing who his real father was and let him feel abandoned by his father for all these years. Like, in the scene in this episode, he's like, you're not my father. Like, you didn't care before my mom died. Like, you never tried. Like, you know, he has that feeling, Walt does, of being abandoned by his father. Of course he's going to have anger. Of course he's not going to want to listen. Like, would you? And she let him feel that way, knowing that that's not the truth of the situation. Knowing that she orchestrated the abandonment. Again, if I'm meant to take the fact that she kept the letters as a symbol that she's not 100% the villain in this story, then it's not working. Now, do I think that Michael should have fought harder? Sure. And I think that initially she was correct. He didn't have the money or the means or the resources to take care of him. The courts almost always side with the mother. But I don't think the courts would have taken away his custody completely. They would have said, you have to let him see him X, Y, and Z amount of times. Right? So, I don't know. I'm not a fan of Susan after this. But again, I think that Michael could have fought harder. Like, he didn't have to listen. Like, when she said, who are you doing this for? Him or you? Him. I'm fighting for my son so that he knows that his father fought for him. Because win or lose... Girl, what are you doing? Because win or lose, that's something that is going to stick with you. I would rather know that my dad fought to care about me, to take care of me, even if he lost because maybe he didn't have the money or the influence that my mom did. Would you not rather know that? Would you not? I don't know. I don't know. I'm glad that we're finally squashing this beef between Michael and Locke, though, because it just felt ridiculous at this point, did it not? Like, I think Michael was now that I've seen this episode, I think Michael was taking out his frustrations with Susan and with Brian on Locke and sort of putting him as, like, this person who's keeping me from my son. He was, taking out his anger on them, on Locke. Whereas Locke is actually this guy who your son is reaching out to and who is making your son feel safe and who your son is connecting with in this moment. He's not trying to keep your son from you. He's just trying to be a person that's there for your son as well. So, I wonder why Michael is so opposed to Walt growing up in this place, right? Like, he made it sound like this is like the absolute worst case scenario possible. Now, it's definitely not the best case scenario possible. Like, I would definitely want to leave the island as well. But he's acting like if we don't leave now, if we don't build this raft now, we're stuck here and my son is stuck here and this is the worst possible thing. I don't know if I agree with that. I think that it would make Walt a very strong kid to grow up even like a couple years in this environment. I don't think it's the worst possible environment. I don't think it's the best possible environment. But it's just like, it just made it seem like Michael was very, very against this island in general. Which, like, again, this is a fucking weird island, so I can't really blame him. Like, some weird shit is happening, and there's all these polar bears, and where the fuck are the polar bears coming from, okay? Because that's a concern. But, yeah, I don't know. I agree that they should build a boat at some point. I don't think a raft is a big enough boat that you're gonna get anywhere safely. You're gonna end up trapped in the middle of the fucking ocean, and then you're gonna die there. Is my prediction with a raft, you know? So that's my only thing, is like, if we're saying he can't grow up in this place, growing up in this place, my opinion, better than dying in the middle of the ocean on a raft, right? Do we agree? I don't know. Also, like, in the points against Susan category, she waited over 2 months after not hearing from him to see if he was okay. Like, tell me you do not give a shit about him without telling me you do not give a shit about him. I think it's cute that, to move on from that for a second, I think it's cute that Charlie was trying to keep Claire's stuff safe. I think that it's cute that he was willing to fight with Sawyer for it. I think that I'm a little surprised that Sawyer didn't read the diary, but I'm also not surprised because I think that Sawyer puts up an act of being this kind of shitty person that I think he isn't. And so I think that that facade is to keep himself safe and to keep people at a distance. And yeah. So in a way, I'm not surprised that he didn't read the diary. I'm glad that Charlie did ultimately decide to read the diary because he got the information about her having the dreams about Black Rock, which is very interesting and which we definitely need to explore now that Claire is back. Which, again, how the fuck? Also, where the fuck are all these polar bears coming from, you guys? Like, why have there been 2 polar bears? There was, like, experiments on these polar bears, right? Like, the others have to be experimenting on them to some extent. I'm not going to harp on the CGI of the polar bears because it was 2004. It was TV budget. They were doing the best they could, you know? I'm glad that we're seeing Michael and Walt bonding at the end. I hope that we keep seeing that and that they continue to have cute bonding moments going forward. Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I want to talk about. I think that I've talked about everything. I don't understand what is happening with Claire, and now that she's back, maybe she can shed some light on it and where she's been. Is she gonna have any memory? Again, did they steal her baby? Are we gonna open the fucking hatch door ever and see what bunker is on this island? Where are the polar bears coming from? Lots of questions. I, for one, cannot wait to get the answers. If you guys are curious about what happens next and you want to watch my reaction to the next episode, you can, if you're watching this on YouTube, right now over on Patreon, which is linked in the description down below. While you're over there, you can also watch my entire full-length reaction to this episode and every episode thus far of Lost, watch-along style, my full-length reaction on Patreon. Again, linked in the description down below. I really, really, really want to watch the next one, but I'm going to take a small break at least, so we'll see. I might come back tonight, maybe later. Regardless, for you guys, I'll see you next time, where we see where Claire's been, possibly, and if she is still pregnant. Until then. Bye, guys.